Hey guys, it's Morgan, and today I'm going to be talking about every book that I read in 2018. I read a total of 51 books. Well, I read a total of 50 books, but I read one book twice, so 51 books. And I believe I totaled 20 rereads and 31 first-time reads, which is okay. I wish I had read more first-time reads just because I do like to reread. I reread a lot. It's not exactly a good thing with my TBR shelf overflowing, but I'm working on it. Whoa, 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 sorry. The pile's falling over. Please don't fall over. I'll get to you in a moment. Okay. So I just have a list here, and then I have my physical copies. So I only have about 35 books, physically. The rest I either borrowed from the library, got rid of, or have on loan out, or have on Kindle. So I'm going to start with my least favorite books, so 1 star through 5 star. And I'm not going to really talk much about any of these books, except for probably my 5-star reads. I might say a little bit about those. But I'm just going to say title, author, and whether it was a reread or not, and then obviously the rating I gave it. Okay, so starting with my 1-star reads, the first one is Immaculate Obsession, which was a short story I got in a Page Habit box. I can't remember the author, but I didn't like it. And the other 1-star read I did last year was Zombie by Darren Shan. That was a first-time read. Immaculate Obsession was a first-time read also. Okay, moving on. 2-star reads. I read Jimmy, I believe by William Malborg. I have it on Kindle. First time read. Did not like it. Next I have Asylum by Madeline Rokes. That was a first time read. The next one is Icons by Margaret Stoll. First time read. And The Truth About Owls is another short story I got in a Page Habit. That was a first time read. I can't remember who wrote that. And then Off Guard by Marion T. was a 1-star read. I have that on Kindle. Asylum, Icons, and The Truth About Owls, Immaculate Obsession, and Zombie I got rid of because I have a rule. If I rate it 1 or 2 stars, I obviously didn't like it, and I'm getting rid of them. Sometimes I get rid of 3-star reads if I don't think I'll ever read them again, but that's just my rule with 1 and 2-star reads. Okay, next I have the 3-star books that I don't actually have physical copies of. So The Truth Beneath the Lies by Amanda Searcy. I've loaned it to a friend. That was a first-time read. A Wider Shade of Christmas was another short story I got in a Page Habit. I can't remember who it's by. That was a first-time read. Tunnel Vision. I can't remember who that was by either. That was a first-time read. I don't have that one anymore. Compound by S.A. Bodine. I read that. Oh, that was a first-time read. I got rid of that one. And then those are the ones I don't have. So The Truth Beneath the Lies I've loaned out, and then the other 3 I don't own anymore. I got rid of them. And then I have one little stack of 3-star reads. So I've got, oh look, a bookmark. I've got, that was probably from my brother when he borrowed it. I've got the first 5 Alex Rider books in graphic novel form. I've got Stormbreaker, Point Blank, Skeleton Key, Eagle Strike, and Scorpia. So this is the book I read twice last year, just at the very end of December, trying to get my 50 books in. So these are all first-time reads, except for the second time I read this one. But these are all by Anthony Horowitz, and they are adapted into graphic novels. They only have the first 5 out right now, so they're continuing, but eventually I hope to own them all. Next I have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. These are rereads. Oops. Oh my gosh. It's raining books. It's raining books. It's okay. Okay. Next I have Maximum Ride, Saving the World in Other Extreme Sports by James Patterson. Reread. Next I have Cherub, Book 1 and 2, The Recruit and the Dealer. These are first time reads. And then my favorite out of all my 3-star reads is The Glass Spare by Lauren DeStefano. This is probably more like a 3.5-star read, but it was great, and this is a first time read. Okay, so I'm going to go through the 4-star books that I don't have physical copies of. The first one is The Grimm Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. I listened to it on audiobook, first time listen, and it was really good. I really liked it. The next one is A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman. That was the first book I read for book club, and I really enjoyed it. And then the next 2 books are duology, The Girl from Everywhere and The Ship Beyond Time by Heidi Helig, or Helig, not sure how to say her name. But those were also first time reads. So all 4 of those are first time reads. Very proud of myself. Okay, and then I'm probably going to go through my least favorite to my favorite in this category. Don't die. Okay, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. I liked this one a lot more than I liked the first, second, and fourth one. This one got 4 stars, but I did really enjoy this one as opposed to the other 3, so that's good. Next I have All My Friends Are Dead by Avery Monson and Jory John. This book is hilarious. If you haven't read it, you should. I know it's a kid book, but it's hilarious. This was the last book I read in 2018, just to push myself over to 50 books. But I found out I actually read 51 books last year, so I didn't actually have to read this book. But I read this with like a minute to spare to midnight, so yeah, this was a reread. So was Prisoner of Azkaban. I've read the whole series once before. Next I have Daniel X Demons and Druids by James Patterson and Adam Sadler. This is a reread, but I do really like this series. It's great. Next I have And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. This was a first time read. I really enjoyed it. It's my favorite graphic novel I've ever read. It was great. Next I have some books in a series. I have Eagle Strike, Scorpia, and Archangel by Anthony Horowitz. This is the 4th, 5th, and 6th book in the series. These are rereads. Next I have The Reluctant Assassin by Ian Colfer. I have no idea to say the first name. If you guys know, please let me know in the comments. That would be great. I feel like I always butcher this name just because I'm not sure how to say it. But this is a reread. I reread this one because I got the second one and then I couldn't remember what happened to the first one, so I had to reread the first one. But yeah, it was great. Next I have Legend by Marie Lu. This was a reread. And then I have Warcross, also by Marie Lu. This was a first time read. It was really good. Can't wait to read the second one. Okay, then I have some more books in the series. I've got the first 3 Bodyguard books, Recruit, Hostage, and Hijack by Chris Bradford. These are rereads, but they're awesome. I love them. Next I have The Last Thing I Remember by Andrew Clavin. This is a first time read, but also maybe a reread. I think I read the first, like the beginning, like the first third or first half of this book, and I like rented it from the library, and then I didn't finish it. Because the whole time I was reading the first part of the book, I thought I was having deja vu, because I was like, oh, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to... And then everything I said that was going to happen happened exactly, and I felt like I had read it before. But the second half of the book was not like that. I didn't know what was happening. So I think I started it and didn't finish it. But I'm going to say it's a first time read. Next I have Article 5 and Breaking Point by Kristen Simmons. Sorry guys, I'm not doing great with the camera here. These were first time reads, and they're amazing. And then my favorite book that I read, my favorite 4-star book, is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I like this book way more than I thought I was going to like it. It was excellent. This was a first time read. Okay, those are all of my 4-star reads. Now I'm going to get into my 5-star reads. There's only 5 of them, but I'm probably going to talk a little bit about them just because they're awesome. So I have Point Blank and Skeleton Key by Anthony Horowitz. These are the 2nd and 3rd book in the Alex Rider series. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've talked about this series so much, but I can't say enough about them. I love this series because I really like like the Jason Bourne movies, and I've seen the newer James Bond movies, but this is a teenage spy, so I read them when I was in middle school, I think, and it was fun because he was almost my age. He's a little bit older than me, but it's about this 14-year-old kid named Alex Rider, who, in the first book, his uncle is killed, and it's covered up and made to look like a car accident, and then the company he works for was MI6. They recruit Alex, and each book is a different mission that he goes on for MI6, and each one is more dangerous than the last. And the series gets pretty brutal. Like, he came out with a new book. I'm kind of upset. So there's 9 of these, and then he wrote a prequel about another character. So there's 10. And then he just came out with a book, Never Say Die. I say just, like, it wasn't last year. It was, like, the beginning of last year. And there is a company, like, these bad guys who are recurring people in the series. They've been in a couple of books. And it's about them and some things that they did, and oh my gosh, I'm kind of bummed that he came out with another book, because the 9th book in the series was so brutal and emotional, and I bawled my eyes out, and it was awful. And he came out with another book, and it's probably going to be worse. I don't know. It might not be able to get worse, but I do love these books. So good. Okay, next. I have Rot and Ruin by Jonathan Mayberry. This book surprised the heck out of me. Like, it was not what I thought it was going to be. My parents and I used to watch Walking Dead. We stopped a while ago. But you get the zombie TV shows and the zombie movies and the zombie books, and it's all about the zombies, and the zombies are bad, and you kill the zombies, and blah, 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 blah. Well, this one is a lot about human nature and what really makes a monster, and it was very, it went into depth a lot about the human nature and things that people do, because we are pretty brutal as a species, and it really focused a lot on that, not just the we have to kill zombies to survive kind of thing, which is pretty much basically what I feel like every zombie show, movie, book is about. So it really surprised me, and I really, really liked it because of that. It was awesome. Okay, the next book is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. Guys, this book was amazing. I got it in an owl crate, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It's about this girl. She's looking for her guardian. She goes from her small town where she, not a small town, but where she lived, to Sin City, I think that's what they call it. Yeah, the City of Sin. So it's kind of like Vegas times 5,000 on steroids. And there's a lot of gambling, there's a lot of crime, and she goes here looking for her guardian because her guardian would regularly come here, and she didn't really know, but she disappeared. She never came home. And she'd gotten a letter saying she was here, go to this person for help, blah, blah, blah. And so she ends up meeting this other guy, and they, I can't remember what they're called. They have these powers or gifts. I'm not exactly what they're called, but their names will tell you what their gift is. Like when they come from certain families have gifts. Like some of them are magical gifts, and some of them are like practical kind of. So her 2 names are, one of them is Salta. I can't remember the other one, but Salta is a family of dancers, but they're kind of low on the scale of skill, so they're not like the best dancers. They're kind of towards the bottom. And then her other name is like arithmetic, which she's really bad at both. Or she's really bad at the arithmetic, and she's okay at dancing. And then like the other character, he can kind of, he like controls fire or something, or heat. So his is like a magic. And so they have these 2 gifts that kind of make up their sort of personality. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very interesting, and it's a lot about trying to find out what happened to her guardian and the corruption in this city, and it was really good. I really loved it. I think the second one is out. I'm not sure what it's called, but I really want to read it because this one was amazing. And the last book, the best book that I read in 2018, Infamous by Sherry Lynn Kinney. So if you've been on my channel for probably a while, you'll know that this is my favorite series. I love it so much. These are the only books I've ever had a desire to put sticky notes in. But I read the first 5 and then decided to start over and reread them. I know there's going to be 8. I don't know if the 8th is out yet or not. But I started rereading them and putting stickies in them, and I absolutely love this series. I could read this series over and over and over again. It is the best series ever. It's about this kid named Nick, and it's a supernatural book. There's like demons and werewolves and werebears and different kind of supernatural creatures and stuff, and it's really good. And there's this really, really evil demon thing called a Malachi, and that's what his father is. So it's really interesting. It's really great. And I know when I read the 4th book, it got super crazy. Like, the first 3 books were kind of, they didn't really delve into the supernatural side of the story, but then the 4th book came along and it was like, holy cow, that was a lot of supernatural stuff, and oh my gosh, I love it. So yes, I love the series. If you haven't read it, you should, because it's amazing. Wow. Okay, those are the books I read in 2018. I had mostly 3- and 4-star reads, with a couple 1- and 2-star reads, and 5-star reads, which I'm glad I had some 5-star reads, but they're all kind of towards the beginning, middle-ish of the year. Anyway, that's my yearly wrap-up. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!